إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وخليله من خلقه وصفيه. أما بعد، فنسأل الله عز وجل بأسمائه الحسنى وصفاته العلى أن يجعلنا وإياكم من المستمعين للقول والمتبعين أحسنه، كما نسأله أن يجعل ما نقوله ونسمعه حجة لنا لا علينا يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد، فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. With the will of Allah Jalla wa Ala Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, we are still on a journey looking at the words of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In a time, as I've mentioned before, where so many things are being said, where so many things are being shared, until we actually became deaf to the words of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. People are asking themselves, why is there so much misery in the world? Why is there so much sadness in the world? Why is there so much oppression in the world? They ask themselves these questions. If we would just take that light that was given by the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and we would walk back in the shadow of the Prophet Muhammad Alaihi Wasallam, in his footsteps, and we would listen to his words, then maybe, no, not maybe, certainly things will change for us. So the hadith of today is a hadith that you all know. As I said before, I never come to try to share something you may not know. That's not my goal. My goal is to remind us of what we already know. Because when we go back to Allah Jalla wa Ala, He will ask us about what we did with what we knew. And that's why one of the scholars said, before you carry on studying anything, before you carry on learning new things about the deen, before you carry on doing all of these things, put yourself on a hold and say, what did I do with what I know? Because everything we know and that we take with us to Yawm al-Qiyamah, that we did not put into practice, is an argument against us. And I keep on repeating this. And sometimes people say, well, you said that before, so what? So what? The problem is not about not repeating it. The problem is, what are we going to do with it? At least myself. We repeat Surah Al-Fatiha 17 times a day. 17 times a day Allah wants us to repeat this. Year in, year out. Did it change us? Did it give a new dimension to our prayer? After each prayer, do we feel that we are better people? Because according to the scholars, when you pray your prayer, you are with Allah. And how can you not come transformed out of a meeting with Allah Jalla wa Ala? When you pray and you're on your knees and you're begging your Lord, please, and you are sitting in front of Allah Jalla wa Ala, conversing with Allah, you should literally be in a state that was far better than the state you went to your prayer with. So now the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you know what the beautiful thing is of your messenger, my messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? That everything that he used to say 1,400 years ago is still as relevant today as it was then and as it will be in 1,000 years. Because he was the prophet of mankind. He was the leader of all, of jinn and mankind, until the day of judgment. So now what did you say, Ya Rasulullah? So that we can hold on to it, that we can live by it, that we can walk it before we talk it. He said in a hadith, you know, do not look at those who have more than you, but look at those who have less than you. Because otherwise you will not be grateful towards your Lord. Do not look at those who have more than you. Look at those who have less than you. Because otherwise you will not be grateful. And we live in a time where people are calling for attention. Even Muslims are calling, craving. They are addicted to thumbs up. They are addicted to likes. They're addicted to followers. And then we start believing that when you have a lot of likes, a lot of followers, a lot of people praising you, that all of a sudden you are important. So let's have a look if this is really true. The Prophet ﷺ said, La hasada ila fitnatain. Do not envy in a good positive way. Yani do not like to be someone else unless it are the following of the two. A hadith I've mentioned 3 years ago and I spoke about it. 2 people, and that's not the main topic of our khutbah, do not want to be somebody else unless it are 2 people. One of them was a alim who puts his knowledge into practice, and another one was a rich man or a rich woman that give away everything they have until nothing is left for themselves. So when you want to just look at these rich people, like now Muslims, they are hurt. They say, oh, now Saudi Arabia has an offer for Messi, $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion to play 3 years of football, kicking a ball. Running behind the ball for 3 years gives you $1.5 billion. So you look at that and you think you have nothing. You compare yourself and say, why didn't I do this? Why wasn't my son a good football player? When you come Yawm al-Qiyamah, do you think that $1.5 billion will make you happy? It may make your life here a bit easier. It will not be that difficult to pay your bills. Yes, I agree. But when you come Yawm al-Qiyamah, the rich one is usually, the most rich are usually the ones we do not look up to. The Prophet ﷺ said, Man hadha ar-rajulu fikum? Who is that man in your eyes? They said, Ya Rasulullah, this is a man, if he would sit in a gathering, nobody would listen to him. If he would knock the door to ask the hand of a man, the hand of someone's daughter, they would not accept it. He said, Hadha huwa fikum? He said, is that whom he is for you? They said, Na'am ya Rasulullah. And then he said, Amma inda Allah. But as far as Allah is concerned, he is the one when he raises his hands whose dua is accepted. And when he swears by Allah that something would happen, Allah would make it happen for that person out of love for that person, because he is venerated, respected and loved by Allah. So now, because we are all looking up to people, you look up to somebody who's very smart, who memorizes like 5,000 things. He memorizes things and is good at mathematics, and they come there, they boast and they show off there. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, Al-Kaysu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. The intellectual is he who prepares himself and what gets ready for what comes after death. So no matter how intellectual you are, maybe you cannot even add up 1 and 1, and I don't care, because that doesn't turn you into someone. What turns you into someone is that you know that a world that will last forever is better than a world that will disappear. That you know that coming back to Allah in a way that makes Him pleased is better than going back to Him while He is angry with you. That is intellect. That is intellect. You're astonished of Tyson Fury or people knocking each other down. You look up to them, wow, even a bear is stronger than him. You are impressed by people who sing well, a bird can sing better than them. You're amazed of somebody's speed, a jaguar runs faster than them. The only thing by which a human being distinguishes himself from the animal Reich is by means of Iman wal amal salih. That's the only thing. By Iman and amal salih and good deeds. You want to be strong? Animals are stronger than you. You think you can jump far? An animal jumps further than you. You think you can climb, parkour, free running? Monkeys do it better than you. So what are you boasting about? That you're better than an animal at doing things? And I'm not meaning that all these things have no worth. But it is wrong to think that that's the pinnacle of existence. Do not look at those who have more than you unless they are people of hasanat, unless they are people of tears in the night, unless they are people that spend without withholding, that teach without withholding, that smile without withholding. People who understand that being intellectual and strong means that they are prepared for a day that lasts 50,000 years. Don't you dare to look at those who have more than you. The problem is, the moment you open your screen, you're forced to look at people who have many things going on that you would like to have going on in your life. And then you come out depressed. You come out depressed because you think, I'm a nobody, I'm a loser, I didn't do anything with my life. SubhanAllah, if only I could be 20 again. We all remember how good we played football, right? Like when you turn 40, I could have been Ronaldo, I could have been Messi. We couldn't, we weren't. We were not created to be that. We are created to be whom we are now. So we end up feeling that we have nothing. No money, no flashy cars, no flashy watches, and maybe we do, and that's all right. But our priorities are completely wrong. My friend, You look up to somebody because he's close to a star, close to a king, close to a president, with him on the picture, and now you want a picture with him. There are people that are close to the King of Kings, and you can be close to him on the Day of Judgment, and his name is Muhammadun sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So you want to be close to a king, that's good. King will disappear, queen will disappear, presidents disappear. With all respect, everybody disappears. ولكن الله الباقي الحي, الباقي الحي. He is the everlasting Jalla wa Ala, and you can be عند مليك مقتدر, like Allah said in the Quran. You live in the presence and nearness of the Malik, the owner, the King, Allah. And you can sit on the Day of Judgment next to the leader of mankind. And you look up to somebody just because he puts an arm around a movie star, a singer, a sheikh, whatever it may be. We have to get our priorities right, because otherwise we will start striving for things that are of no benefit to us. Wallahi, when the Prophet ﷺ, you know this, I quoted it before, passed these two graves, and he asked these Sahaba radiallahu anhum, what do you think that these two people want? Two people in a grave for years, buried beneath the soil, forgotten, forsaken. He said, what do you think that these two people want? No, but they didn't want to come back to build dunya. He said they all want to come back to perform two sujuds for Allah, because they've seen the worth of it, the value of it. They just want to come back. وَلَا سُجُودٌ وَاحِدٌ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَحَدِهِمَا مِنَ الدُّنْيَا وَمَا فِيهَا. One sujood is more beloved to them than the entire dunya with all its beauty being given to them. So we can still do that sujood. We can still have that beautiful life. So what are we worried about? As long as we have life in our bodies, we have a life that can elevate us many ranks. As long as we have a soul in our body, even if you can't cry out of fear for Allah now, it is not too late, you're still alive. If you don't love your prayer, no worry, you are still alive, you can change it. But stop focusing on things that do not matter. And what are the things that matter? That are the things that will get you to Allah safely in Jannah with your family. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَاتَّبَعَتْهُمْ ذُرِّيَّتُهُمْ بِإِيمَانٍ أَلْحَقْنَا بِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَمَا أَلَتْنَاهُمْ مِنْ عَمَلِهِمْ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. That is our business. That is our mission. That is our task. That is our slogan. We live to prepare ourselves to die. Because when we die, it's an everlasting life. And an everlasting life results in Jannah or Nar. وأصلي وأسلم على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين واستغفر الله إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله كثيرا كما أمر، والصلاة والسلام على خير وأفضل وأزكى البشر سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى جميع من اقتفى الأثر وبعد. So we need to get our priorities right, and one of these priorities that I want to share with you today is that the things that really make us happy are the things we take for granted. Do you know why? It is like now our minds are more money, another car, another house, another I don't know what, a better job, moving to another country. But if you were to lose your health, your sight, your hearing, your child, your wife, your husband, your children, whatever, if you would lose them today, nothing else would matter anymore. So just waking up and listening to the voice of your child is what matters. Coming home and finding your wife, that foundation in your life, that is what matters. Just being able to start your car in the morning, that is what matters. And you will know the moment your car doesn't start. So let us start having shukr for everything we take for granted. Do you know why? Because life was not created to give you what you want. Life was created to get you down on your knees. So when you know that, then look at how Allah has treated you, how life has treated you. Yes, we have difficulties, but wallahi we are spoiled. Yes, we have difficulties, but we still got a lot of room to play. So this is why when we see these things that we take for granted and we become blind for them, that's the moment that we think that we are leading miserable lives. Wallahi, that's it. You know, as a psychotherapist, I've got many people coming to me, and one of them, reasons why people are unhappy, because they became too blind to see the beauty they have in their lives. Wallahi, just the fact that your skin touches the skin of your child, you can hug it, you can feel it. Some people don't have the skin, they don't feel anything. Just eating something nice and sweet and sugary. I have diabetes, for example, got diagnosed again a week ago with quite some difficult matters, and now I need to stay away from it. And for other people it's normal, just a little cake, a little this, a little that. It's normal, alhamdulillah, may Allah protect you all. But the things we think are normal, they are just protection of Allah. The things we take for granted are expressions of Allah's love. So how can we fall short loving Him when He keeps on loving us? So the way to loving Allah, my friend, the way to loving Allah, my dear traveler to the Akhirah, my dear traveler to Allah, the way to increase your love for Allah is start to count your blessings, and you will be baffled. You will be marveled. You will be stupefied, because if you try, you will never be able. So let us love what we have in our lives. Cherish it. Thank Allah for it. And our hearts will open. Our worship will become better. And our preparation for the Akhirah stronger. I ask Allah Jalla wa Ala to forgive me for saying things that I myself am in need of. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma ahdina fi man hadayt. Wa afina fi man afayt. Wa tawallana fi man tawallayt. Wa barik lana fi ma a'tayt. Wa qina wasrif anna sharra ma qadayt. Fa innaka rabbi taqdi wa la yuqda alayk. Fa innahu lan ya'izza man adayt. Wa lan yadhilla man walayt. تباركت ربنا وتعاليت. اللهم أرنا في الظالمين يوما أسودا. اللهم أرنا في الظالمين يوما أسودا دائما أبدا يا الله. اللهم لا تؤاخذنا بما فعل السفهاء منا. اللهم رد المسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. اللهم رد فلسطين إلى الفلسطينيين يا الله. اللهم كن مع المسلمين في كل مكان، أعنهم ولا تعن عليهم يا الله يا الله. اللهم اجعل بقاءنا في هذه الدنيا صوما، ولقاء معاكم ربي عيدا. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. وأقم الصلاة.